Hey everybody, Teresa here from Inspiration Cards, and I'm back to share our third card for this month's Stamp Jammies online card class featuring the cute little Hello Ladybug stamp set. I hope you've been enjoying the cards so far, and we do have today's and one more to come. So let's flip this around and get to this week's card. So here's this week's card, and it's actually a cute little easel card that folds up really nicely, just like a standard card. And what you'll need for this week's card is going to look a little something like this. All right, let's move my scraps out of the way here. All right, so you'll have a large strip of real red cardstock. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock cut vertically in half. Excuse me. And then you'll also have a large piece of basic white. This is about just a little smaller than a quarter of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. Same with your piece of real red. And then you'll have, there you go, some cute little ladybugs with this designer series paper pattern on it, along with a little tiny strip of basic white. This is a 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inches. And then you'll have another piece of that same designer series paper along with a piece of basic white. And of course you'll have a few other scraps in there to create your ladybugs, and you'll see how that kind of works as we go. All right, so to kick us off, let's fold our card base in half. I'm just going to grab my bone folder, get that nice crisp clean fold. And now to turn this into an easel card, you just want to take one of those halves and fold it in half again. Such a cute and easy, fun fold to make. So there we go. Your card base for your easel card is all set. So we're going to set that off to the side, along with your large piece of real red. So for that large piece of basic white, that's going to go on the inside of the card. And again, so you can add in some images, you can add in a phrase. So do keep in mind whatever you want to add on the inside. You're going to add a ladybug to pop up your easel. So you definitely want to make sure you leave room for that. That's actually why I went with the 3 little starburst images along the bottom there. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm just going to place that on my little block there. And instead of black this week, to match with the designer series paper, which is the Artfully Composed designer series paper, that is soon to be retiring. So it's only available for a few more days. All right, and this is Evening Evergreen to match with that designer series paper. And we're gonna flip that over. Let's try that again. There we go. So make sure you get your stamp fully inked and make sure that you press fully down on your stamp to get that full image. There we go. So I'm going to set that aside, and let's grab that teeny little strip of basic white. And the hello would fit on there. I used that in the previous card, so I'm actually going to use the "It's a Good Day" phrase to go on this little strip here. Right, just kind of like hello. You know, it's a cute little phrase that you really can use for anything. You know, you add an extra sentiment on the inside, or with your handwritten note, you really can turn this into a birthday card, a thank you card, really whatever you kind of need kind of card. All right, so you will also have a scrap of basic white. It will be a little, about half this size. Because we're going to be stamping we go, a solid ladybug, and punching that out. There we go. There we go. And I'm just gonna angle this upside down, just so that way it lines up the way I need it to with the punch. So I'm gonna set that off to the side. And I'm gonna grab my strip of real red here. We need some dots for our ladybug's wings. So I'm gonna grab that. There we go. I'm gonna grab that image there. And so I'm gonna stamp 3 sets of wings. So I'm just gonna make sure I leave enough space in between to punch. There we go. So let's set that aside to dry. And let's pull in, oh, whoops. Your scrap should actually look something like this. This is the next piece of paper, next piece of cardstock that we need. All right, let me stamp that solid ladybug again. Lost track of my scraps. All right, let's try this one more time. So as you can see, this is just a leftover scrap. Right, it's always good to hold on to some of your larger scraps. Here we go. All right, and this piece here, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, we're going to add in, just to help with positioning, we're gonna stamp a solid ladybug body. So this is gonna be where we're gonna position one of our Designer Series paper ladybugs. So this will help us just make sure that we leave lots of room for our flowers. And so we're going to grab that cluster of 3 flowers. Here we go. And that real red ink pad. And it's going to randomly stamp some flowers and just kind of rotating. So it's almost like we're making our own Designer Series paper here. And we'll do one more on this side here. There we go. All right, so that's it for our stamping. Go. So let's tuck that out of the way and get to our punching. So here is the Ladybug Builder punch. Cute little punch that coordinates perfectly with a number of the images from the stamp set. So there's that solid evening evergreen ladybug. Go. And for our wings, here we go. And I always hold my punches upside down when I'm punching. And I do that on purpose, so that way I can actually see and make sure I've got my images lined up the way I need them to in the punch. Go. And one more time. Oh, an extra little strip off there. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And then we need one more ladybug, right? We've got 3 sets of wings, so we need 3 ladybug bodies. So here's that Designer Series paper again. There we go. All right, so our punching is complete. And of course, my scraps made it into the mix for my card supplies. All right, 1 second to adjust. There we go. So instead of punching my scrap, here we go. I punched the piece that was supposed to go on my card base. Thank you for hanging in with me today. It seems to be one of those days. All right, so here's our easel card base, and there's that large piece of basic white. So I'm just gonna grab my Stampin' Seal and run that along the back. And that's gonna go on the inside here. So still lots of room, even when we place our ladybug, there's still gonna be lots of room to add in a handwritten note. All right, and now for the large piece of real red, I'm gonna add that piece of designer series paper. The designer series paper is gonna go along the bottom, and then your stamped piece of basic white is going to go along the top. And you shouldn't have to worry about any overlap. They should just, there we go, fit right next to each other. There we go. All right. So to add this to your easel card base, I find it easier to add the adhesive to the base itself, and then I don't have to worry about missing and then getting adhesive where I don't want it, right? Nothing worse than getting extra adhesive on there and then your easel card won't open up. Here we go. All right, so now we need to assemble our ladybugs. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more of that tape runner on the back of the wings. And I'm just gonna line them up just like so. Same thing with your stamped ladybug. And one more. There we go. All right, so now to add these to our card, we're actually going to use mini dimensionals. So I'm going to start with the phrase, and you just need, because it's such a small phrase, 2 will have you covered nicely. And that's going to go down in the bottom right hand corner here. Here we go. And then the stamped ladybug is going to go just in the top left-hand corner of your designer series paper. You want to be able to distinguish your ladybug from the designer series paper in the background. And just peel the papers off the back there. And like I said, this stamped guy here is actually just going to get covered up with one of our designer series paper ladybugs. So again, just throw a few dimensionals on the back there. And one more. These little minis are so little, and you can never have enough dimensionals. There we go. All right, and so just right over top of your stamped ladybug, there you go. So if you do manage to see it, it's almost like it's casting a shadow. All right, now to finish off our easel card, right, we need to pop up our last ladybug so that way we can hold our easel card in place. All right, and we're just gonna tuck that up. And I'm gonna just a little bit up and to the right of the stamped little starburst I have on the bottom. Actually, I'm gonna rotate this guy a little more. It's because the cardstock is gonna be a little sturdier. So there we go. So I want the cardstock to help hold up that easel card. There we go. All right, now as always, I do have another card showing off this cute little ladybug. So this one here is using Magenta Madness, one of the not that long ago retired in colors. So just a bit of a different, not so traditional take on the ladybug. I thought it'd be fun to create a pink one. And then the leaves are stamped in Just Jade. And of course, we've got some basic black for the base of our ladybug and our wish. And then I just added a few polished dots to the center of the daisies. So there you have it. There's this week's cards. I hope you enjoyed them. I'll be back to share one last card featuring this cute little ladybug. In the meantime, you can check out my other projects and tips that I like to share on social media at Inspiration Cards on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also check out what I'm sharing on my blog at inspirationcards.com. And of course, if you have any questions about Stampin' Up!, scrapbooking, paper crafting, or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment below, or you can shoot me an email at inspirationwiththeresa@gmail.com. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon.